Hey guys, it's Ryan, and this is essentially, we're getting close to the end. This is essentially the last full tutorial for this course, and let me clean everything up on my desktop here so we can get ready to go. This lesson is 10.1, and we are going to talk today about the image trace function. It may be different than the schedule had originally shown, but I need to go into the image trace function before we get into the final project, and that would be the game design project, because I've got some folks who are wanting to use images in their apparel design projects, and so in order to have that understand and learn that first, I decided I'd do this lesson here rather than the next lesson. Okay, so I've got a blank document open, and I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to go for here. I have here this photo and this poster of President Obama, and I don't really care about your political affiliation or what you think of the man. I am just going for this stylized look that this poster from back in his 2008 campaign, and the look, we can probably get fairly close to it with the image trace function. Now you'll have to pardon me if I call it the live trace function, because that's what it used to be called. It's now called the image trace, and in order to get that, all you need to do is open up a photo or an image. So what we're going to do is, I've got an untitled document. We're going to copy this poster from the poster file, and we're going to paste it on our artboard, kind of move it out of the way, and then we'll grab the photo here of the president, and this is an after he was elected photo, and copy that and paste that here on our artboard, and then we can resize, and holding down shift we'll constrain that and kind of get a good feel for that size of the photo. And then we can bring this one and paste it in front and see, well, it's not quite the same pose, so we'll just use it for reference and leave it over there on the side. Now, when you have an image that you have embedded in Illustrator, and that's what I did. I just copied it over from the other file and pasted it in so it becomes embedded. When you have it selected, you will see this, you've got a couple of options up here in the control bar. It says what the file is, where that file happens to be, the color mode that it is in. We can unembed that file if we wanted to. I don't want to do that at this point. If you did that and wanted to save, make sure to include linked files. We've discussed that in a previous video. And then we also have the image trace. Also, if you did unembed that, you can save that out, and then edit original would bring it over to Adobe Photoshop, in this case, as the file that we wanted to. But I want to keep that embedded, so I'm actually going to undo back to the state where it was embedded. Okay, and now it's embedded in there. And so the next one we have is this image trace. Now the first thing you may want to do is just click that button. Don't do that. Resist the impulse. Don't click the button, because we're going to show you some different things here. So if you click the little down arrow here that has tracing presets, you can see a whole bunch of options. There is high fidelity photo, low fidelity photo, 3 colors. That might be interesting, considering we're going for a 3-color look. We've got actually 4 colors, so we're closer to 3 than 6. So we could try the 6 colors, the 3 colors, the 16 colors. We could go shades of gray, black and white logo, sketched arc, silhouettes, line art, or technical drawing. And I'll just show you as we run through these a couple of them. So high fidelity photo, I click that. It takes a little while. It tells us what it's doing in that progress. And now we have our artwork as high fidelity photo, and it looks the same. We're pretty close. If you have a different photo, it may look different than that. So I want to make sure that I have the tracing result on here. I could do tracing result with outlines, and then you can see all of the outlines of the individual shapes that I've used. We could do just the outlines. We could show the outlines with the source image, or we could just do the source image. I'm going to go back to tracing result. It is what I would prefer in this case. And now as you see, if I click on it, I can't really do anything to edit that. So what you would want to do is hit expand. And what that does is converts this tracing object into individual paths, but it's a group. It's a group of paths. I'm gonna hold off on that for just a moment and show you that before doing that, if you don't like the result of the trace, you can change your setting over here. So I have it at high fidelity photo. Instead, I could choose low fidelity photo, and it'll run through the progress. It'll run through the process of tracing that image again. And you can see now I have some more solid sections here in the hair, on his cheek, down into the neck. And if we show the outlines, then you can see there are fewer outlines, there are fewer shapes that are being shown in the image itself. I'm going to go all the way down to this 6 colors because I think that's what we're looking for. It'll be pretty close if it's not exactly what we're looking for. All right, so the only reason I wouldn't want this is because of the shape around his hairline. As you see in this poster, that shape is very well defined. So what can I do to change that? Well, let's go back to the image itself. Let's go back to the low fidelity photo is fine. And maybe not. Maybe I actually wanted that high fidelity. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. So I'll expand that. And when you see I hit expand, then I have all of the pieces of the artwork all broken out into individual objects. And you can see that as you click off to select nothing, and then select, kind of highlight over some of the shapes. You can see the outline because I have my smart guides turned on, and you can see that some of these shapes are rather small and intricate. And so anyway, I'm going to go with my direct selection tool, and the reason is I want to pull out the black, this black background behind his head. And so I will click on that with the direct selection tool, and because it has a solid black fill, then I can select it. So I'll Control C, Command C on a Mac, and then I will paste that in front. And as you can see, I can move that around, so I have another copy of that mask, that background. And I wanted to do that so I could have the color from his hair separated from the background. And then I can take the, since I have that copied, I can undo a couple of times. and we'll go back to the point when we had just the image there and it was traced. And so we can let that reprocess here. And yes, now we're back into the image tracing options. So now I'm going to go ahead with the preset of the 6 colors, and we'll let that render. All right, and now you see I have some fewer colors here, and then I'll click expand, and then I'm going to do paste in front, and I still had that piece, that shadow, the background, in the clipboard. So that means I can use it now, and I can select both, and I'll align them right or left and top. So now I have the black background that is not a part of the rest of the image. All right, now if I tried to minus front using the background here, it would take the selection of all of these colors and it would only pull out the front color. So I don't want to do that. I want to click the group of the, all of the traced image, and then I want to ungroup that. So Command Shift G on a Mac, Control Shift G on your PC. And then I'm going to only select the black that I have in front and the dark brown that is this background color that seems to be highlighted, or highlighting the hair color and the background. It all got merged in because we broke it down to 6 colors, remember? So I can take that and select those both and then do a minus front, and now as you can see it has taken away that layer, or that object that was in front of that brown color. So now I have some more things I can work with. I can move some of these points that are a little funky. Let's just get rid of them using the pen tool and the, all right, there's that. Do we have anything over here? It doesn't appear to be so. All right, so now I have the image and I'm pretty close. I've got fewer colors than that high fidelity photo, and now I have some more solid groups that I can kind of pull out. I have this weird shape of someone's head behind him, and so I can come into that, and since it's ungrouped I can just select that shape and delete it, and I think I'll leave that so I know where his suit coat goes. Let's move that shape to the back. I know, if I go to outlines I can see these shapes a little better. So we'll get rid of that shape, and we'll get rid of this weird shape here. And then what we can do is select this line and either go through with the pen tool and move the points around so that they are closer to the sides of his head and his ear. And that might be something we want to do. Or I could grab my pen tool, or excuse me, my pencil tool. I need to smooth this line out. Okay, now it has fewer anchor points on it, and I can just move those. Okay, and now I see some funny shape up there. All right, back to preview mode, and we're pretty close. We are getting a whole lot closer than we were. Okay, so if I want to what I can do is kind of normalize. Remember, I have 6 colors, and I need to knock it down to 3 colors. So what can I do with that? All right, let's see if I can do this in a way that makes some sense. So first, what we want to do is get our colors from the Hope poster over here. So I'll just get the eyedropper tool and select the colors. So there's the blue, and I'm going to drag it into there, and we'll actually drag that to a new group after we create it. So Obama Hope colors. And then we can get a new color and drag that into the group, and this color and drag that into the group, and then there's one more color, and it's this cream color. And you may be saying, hey Ryan, you're forgetting about that transitional color here, the 2 colors kind of half-toned. Well, I could do that, and it wouldn't take very long, but I'm just the point of this was to show the image trace and then how you can change colors. So I'm going to actually be sure that I select everything here on that image, center it back on the window, and we'll go to Recolor. And again, Recolor Artwork is in the center of the control bar up here. So I'll click that, and now we have our colors. So let's change our colors to this selection of color. Well, it did some things that really don't look like how we want it to look. So again, we can change the colors, we can combine colors. I don't quite remember where all of these colors were supposed to be. So let's look at the click on color to show. So that one looks pretty good. The blue is now going to be where the brown was. This light color needs to be changed. Let's do that as the palest color here. And then we'll change and put that brown color, maybe not that one. Let's change and do the purple one down there. Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's move this to there and this one to there. No, that one needs to stay there too. We need more red in his face, because as we can see, the original had the red along that side there. So let's go with this one and see if that doesn't do what we're looking for. That's pretty close. All right, good enough for a tutorial on how to do some live tracing or image trace. So if we wanted to compare that to the actual poster, we can take that poster and do just the same things that we did with the photo. And we'll go in here and let's do 6 colors, and we'll see how close it got. So it's going to run through the process. And when you start with these, it's a good high quality, almost vector image. You can see that it's retained a lot of those colors, or those lines. So we could come here, and if we wanted to change the color of this poster, we could recolor and add a new group, and let's say New Hope or something. Make that a new group, and as you can see there, it thinks there's a little bit more variation. So let's combine these 2 colors. Actually, let's turn it to 5. Nope, that's not what we wanted to do. Let's go back to auto, all colors. All right. So it has just knocked the colors into the wrong direction. Let's combine those 2, make that one that one that one that, and that one there. Well, I've made a big mistake. Let's go back to the original, and remember this eyedropper will get colors from the selected art, so it's essentially resetting it back to how we had it before. These two colors can combine to that, those two colors can combine to that, and I can get rid of this color and that color. So those won't be used. Alright, so now we can go through and select our red, and let's change that to a purple, and we'll do some Andy Warhol here, changing everything up on the image to something else. And we could do something like that. Anyway, you can go have fun, do whatever you want, but when you have an image that is as high resolution as this one was, you're going to have more jagged and more intricate shapes. And when you have a smooth, it's a very smooth lined image like this one was, you'll have those vectors. All of the endpoints, or the anchor points in the vectors, will reflect the smoothness of that image. So just keep that in mind when you're using the image trace tool, and experiment with it. Take some time to get to know it. Let me just give you a warning though, if you are not used to using and combining shapes and manipulating the anchor points in the artwork, you can, for example, get something that you like, the artwork, and then if you aren't careful with it, you can really mess it up, something worse than that, or you can accidentally pull out parts of the image, change things beyond repair, and if you're not careful, just you can seriously destroy the image that you're going for. So live trace is good, just be careful with it, use it with caution. You can get an image that has a whole lot like this one. Let's click on that again. Let's do the whole group. There are quite a few anchor points and curves, and that can add to the intricacy. It can add to the file size. I mean, not incredibly large here in this case, but it'll be more than something that's a smoother line. And if you did it yourself, then there's always the satisfaction that you're learning to use the tools, and that's great. If you need an image for the purpose of a logo or something like that in your artwork, then go ahead and use the the image trace, and just be aware of those things that you can do to edit those files. Okay, I didn't want to sound like too much of a control freak or a reactionary with being conservative with your images. Just be aware that you can do a lot of cool things, but you can also mess up your image quite a bit with the live paint. Not live paint, the image trace.